Hi friends, I'm at the store today and I have to tell you, I watched these other videos of people, doing their stuff, and there's so much just to uh, getting your camera to focus on you without your damn finger in the way. I finally got it out of the way, so I'm learning, and I hope you guys can learn with me as we go. Because as I said, I'm just an old grandma, but I have my store, and I'm trying to grow it, and I'm trying to learn how to do this stuff on YouTube. So stick with me. I wanted to show you a few things that are in the store, and then I want to talk a little bit about them because they're things that happen often. So here you go. This Missy Bear was one that I refurbished probably 8 years ago, and I sold her at Christmas. Somebody bought it. Well, it was a couple years ago, and then I saw my poor bear at the rummage sale. They must have gotten tired of her, so I picked her up. And I've updated her a little bit. She didn't have a skirt before. Maybe that's why she was given away. She was too sexy. But then I put the big bow on her head, straightened her up. Of course, we got her cleaned and everything, and put the big bow on her head because, as you know, the style now on babies is for the bow to be bigger than the actual baby's head. So we've updated her a little bit. And I'm hoping that somebody will fall in love with her and take her home, and we'll be able to sell her twice. So as you can see, this display looks like it's been hit by a truck. But Mr. Bear used to be sitting there in the back. That great big bear, if you've seen my other videos, you've seen how big he was. Well, he sold, and he sold for a nice profit, so I can't complain about that. But now I have to redo the display, and we'll come up with something fun. So little Miss Piggy went to market. She actually went to my shop. But I like to group things together, and you can see that there's several pigs here. And I believe I referenced that cup. When I researched it, it's a part of a china set. So that was kind of a fun thing to pick up. And I just love this little girl. I've had her for a while, but somebody made her. She's been made out of like upholstery fabric, and she's just as cute as she can be, and I'm hopeful that she'll get to go home with someone. So there's our pig display, which is kind of fun with Valentine's Day coming, etc., etc. Although I wouldn't recommend giving your girlfriend a pig for Valentine's Day. I kill me. Here's another display. Ray Dunn is everywhere, and I went to a sale where a store had it on clearance. So I picked up a few pieces. I just hope I don't get stuck with it because it's everywhere. It's like Pioneer Woman, it's everywhere. But my favorite part of this display is this was a little print by an artist named Megan, and I cut it down and I put it in this frame. And it just spoke to me. So I have a tendency to pick up sheep pictures and stuff like that. I think it's because my mom raised sheep. But anyway, I really like that part of this display. Of course, this is just the display. I left it from Christmas, but I pulled, the Christmas houses out and stuff. The reason I left it is even though clear glass doesn't show, I just think it looks so beautiful on the mirror. And there's a variety of glass there, cut glass, cheap glass, but it's just mostly for display purposes, but I do love it. And you notice the old bucket, it's brought to life with the icy flowers, so there you go. This was kind of my Nevada Western style display, but the Nevada thing sold. I had a little Nevada plaque on there, so now you can just see what we've got there, and it's kind of fun. Like that I think I mentioned before, that pottery, that's from a potter's shop that used to be up in Caldwell, Montana, which was about 10 miles away from where we lived. We lived in Montana for 13 years. So I'm always sentimentally drawn to them. It used to be called Clays and Calico. So it's beautiful. I love it. I said, you must come to my store because I remember your shop. Okay, you can see on here that this is just a quilt top that we had for the display. It's a churn dash pattern, so we'll pull that off, and we do that a lot. We'll use the quilt tops because we have quilters who come through and want to purchase. So now we're getting our blank canvas, if you will, and that's my favorite part to work with. So I'll be back. Sometimes I amaze myself. The quilt I want to put on the bed is now buried under everything I took off the bed. Dang it! Okay, so there we go. That's the quilt. I want to point out that we pulled it way down on this side because the trundle bed is underneath. And I also want to show you another little trick. Our price is on the corner, so always put it on the outside corner so you don't have to tear the bed apart to find the price, because when someone asks me about it months from now, I won't remember. And also notice it doesn't quite cover this end, which is okay. I'll put pillows on there because I wanted to cover this end, because that's the end that people are likely to see as they're walking by. Most of us don't walk by something and turn around a lot. So I'm going to use this linen tablecloth up there to kind of help set off that space by the pillows. I just wanted to show you what it says here. This is when we purchased it. Its owner talked about its condition and everything, and so we just left that on there because that helps if someone is willing to purchase it. So here we go. So you can see that I've incorporated Miss Bear in there, and I think she looks good with the pink stuff. The pillows, one is sort of just modern style. The other two are two pillows that I made from some quilt piecing that came into the store, and I thought, well, we just can use it for that. So we don't charge very much for our pillows, $10 each usually. So I'm liking how it's coming together. I want to point out how the linen kind of just sets that off. I like it. I wanted to share with you the frustration that any shop owner has. We usually staple the prices on the corner of the quilts, and as you can see, somebody has pulled the price. Why, I don't know. But it's really hard to sell something that doesn't have a price. Grrr. Okay, friends, there's the finished product. Looks pretty good. We always like to put a little quilt at the foot of the bed because we have lots, so it's a way to display them. But there's little Miss Bear. She looks cute. Kind of got the modern pillow, the little saying on the placard. So I'm happy with this display. We'll give it a whirl and see how it goes. Okay, I was helping someone load a piece of furniture, and this pillow was on the side where we process stuff, and I thought, man, I think that would look really cute on this bed. So I'm going to put it here and see what you think. I think it kind of goes, it brings it, into the modern stuff. But there we go. It looks perfect, doesn't it? Yay! I did a good job on that one. Okay, so I had to move this chair because it just didn't go with all that pink. I wanted to show you, this was a chair that was in my mom's estate. Well, it was covered with a leather, but her dog had drooled on it, so we had to tear it apart, and I covered it with this. It's really an interesting chair, just the style. But I wanted to show you that I was looking for the fabric that I wanted to put it on, and this is a dress that I took apart and put it back together and used it for the upholstery fabric. And it's not for everybody, but I like it. So here you go. Okay, I'm in the back trying to figure it out. In an old building, electrical is always a problem. So here's our outlet. This one is right there. That's easy. And then the other one's over there, but I wanted you to be able to have plenty of light to see my project because I'm proud of it. I think it turned out beautifully. I used painter tape to cover this. Now the last step I have to do is to put wax on it. That'll hold that finish in. So I'm excited to see how it turns out. All right, I'll show you when I'm finished with it. Okay, you can see that I put wax on the entire top, and I'm going to leave that on there while I do the other part. And this is the kind of wax I'm using right here. It's a little hard to get out of here, but what I do is I just squirt a little bit on there. That's a lot of it. But then I'm going to just rub that in so it can soak into the wood. You can see it's kind of making it shiny. Now I'm going to leave this wax on for the entire weekend so it can soak in. And then when I get back, I will rub it off, and it's going to be really a cute box, I think. I'm going to like it. So, and what I wanted to show you was I even put the wax on the picture because it was a little bit scratched, and I think that'll kind of protect it a little bit. Look at this cool box. It's so cool. So I just have to put a little bit on the handle, which is I think the best part of this box, that red handle stuck on there. And then you can see this has this on there. I just have to get it connected to that, make sure it's going to hold, and then this thing will be finished. So it helps if I let you see the picture of what I'm working on, doesn't it? Oh well. Anyway, you get the idea. Okay, this is my craft project, if you will. This is something I salvaged probably 2 years ago because I liked it. I thought it looked like a desert scene, even though the perspective is off on it and everything. I just liked it. Reminded me of Nevada. So I'm going to work on it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on there, and this came from the dollar store. It cost $1, but I spray painted it with that milk paint. So, and then I'm going to try to make it look older, and then I'll show you how that works. So, here we go. Okay, so this is how I did it. I put a little dot of burnt umber oil paint, and then you go over it. This is a stencil brush, and I'm just going over it very lightly, making sure I cover the whole thing. And see how that makes it look older. I like that better. And then I think I'm going to do the same thing to the painting. So we'll see how it looks when I get finished. Okay, so I've got a big glob on there, and see I'm just working like crazy to get it spread around. And then I'm going to go over it with a rag because it's pretty thick on there. Okay, so we're going to do this. There we go. See, that takes quite a bit of that off. I just want that light color. So far, I'm happy with it. Okay, so I'm going to do this part. Anyway, you don't have to see the whole thing, but that's how I do it with this stencil brush. Okay, so this is what it looks like after I've gotten that burnt umber on. And I was looking at this, and it's just, you know, the little cheapy one, but it's got those things on the back, and I was gonna take those off, but then I thought, no, I think I'm gonna leave them on because when I go to glue it, it kind of raises it, which gives it kind of a three-dimensional look. So I'm gonna use E6000 to glue it on there, and we'll see how it turns out. So here's the E6000. I'm just going to put a big glob on there, and then I'll clean it up with a Q-tip in a minute, but I'm getting it on there. I really shouldn't be doing it on top of the project, but I am. So there's that. See, I got way too much there, so I'm going to clean it up. Then I'm going to place it on here where I think I'd like it. Right there. Okay. So I think it's going to be cute, and then I'll put a lightweight on it to hold that down so it seals. You can see over here it looks like something was moved, because something was moved. We sold like a cabinet today, so that's always exciting. And so we'll get this stuff rearranged in another way. But anyway, I'm about ready to go home, and I'm glad to get there. For me to work 3 days at the shop is pretty remarkable. So I'm happy to be gone. And I hope you enjoyed all my experiences. I'm just trying to share what it's like to have a shop, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So